Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Unfinished Business. It has been a few weeks, but I am back with so much more unfinished business to discuss before we close out 2020. I also have three ideas how we can all end 2020 on a positive note. But before I begin, please remember to subscribe and watch our weekly show on YouTube at Rogette Harris, on Instagram at Rogette1980, on Twitter at Rogette Harris, or at Unfinished Business with Rogette Harris on Facebook. You can also send me a comment, show idea, or just say hi to me at rogetteharris@gmail.com. Now, back to the show. What a year 2020 has been. Although there have been a lot of top stories this year, the headlines were and continue to be dominated by a deadly pandemic, to a global movement for racial justice, to record high vote totals for the US presidential election. And in case you are wondering, yes, the 2020 election is over. There have been other world shifting events also, and we still have 8 days to go. Who knows what else can happen? 2020 has also been a hard and terrifying year for everyone and around the world. Thanks to COVID 19 invading our lives, we have all had to adjust to a new life of wearing masks, social distancing, and carrying sanitizer with us, among other things. Our education system is completely different, and the digital divide has been opened wide for everyone to see just how differently our children have access to a good quality education depending on what zip code they live in. Work is extremely different. Millions of people are working remotely from home. Millions of other Americans have lost their jobs to the degree that we have actually surpassed the number of people out of work from the Great Depression back in the 1920s and 30s. And millions of other Americans go to work every day with the fear of contracting this deadly virus. On top of that, businesses are closing every day throughout the country as more restrictions are placed on businesses, forcing some to close. And Americans are continually encouraged to stay home, not just now, but also for the holidays. However, we see high profile healthcare professionals like Dr. Deborah Birx, part of the White House task force on COVID 19, and many elected officials on both sides of the aisle ignoring their own advice and traveling to be home with their family members for the holidays. No wonder not everyone is taking their advice seriously. And on top of all of this, many people have lost their lives or the lives of their loved ones to this deadly virus. This pandemic has affected all of us in one shape or form. What has been disheartening to me is that this deadly virus has become a political football with both the Democratic and Republican parties. From the very beginning, a balance should have been made. No one should have to choose between their health and their economic well being, especially since a person's economic status affects a person's health, as we see now with winter here, and the homeless population continues to grow, and food pantries are running out of food to feed those without. I pray that 2021 has a better outcome than what we have experienced here this year in 2020. In fact, 2021 could turn out to be a great year if you think about what has been forecasted so far. The FDA has approved two COVID 19 vaccines that is already being released to Americans, and it is hoped that most, if not all Americans, will receive it if they choose by April of 2021. For all the sports lovers out there, yes, the Super Bowl is set right now for Sunday, February 7th. It may even mean that 2021 will be a great rebound year as we learn to live with COVID 19 and hopefully see things become less restricted. Regardless of what happens in the future, let's focus on the present and look at ways to end 2020 on a high note. It can be done, and I have three main ways to make this happen. Number one, learn something new. Many of us have been stuck at home most of 2020, relying on Zoom meetings and social media and texting apps to get any type of human interaction. Since most of us have this downtime, it is a great opportunity to learn something new. Learn a foreign language, take an online class, exercise, or learn yoga to keep the pounds off. YouTube is a great resource and it's free. Dabble in the arts and learn how to paint or draw. Work on redecorating your home. Basically, use this free time to improve yourself and be ready when this bad time is behind us. Number two, appreciate the people in your lives. The title pretty much sums it up. But if anything, this pandemic has shown us all just how fragile life is and how easily it can be taken away. Do you take time to call a family member or friend to see how they are doing? Whomever you consider a loved one, take time to tell them just how much they mean to you now. You never know when it will be the last time you speak or see them. And finally, number three, do something for someone else. Do something good for someone other than yourself. It is the holidays, which is the best time to be giving. Unfortunately, we live in a me, me, me society, but it's time to change that, even though it will be a gradual change. Give or make someone a gift. Donate some old clothes or furniture that you no longer need. Help a needy family make the holidays better for their children. Help a neighbor shovel their car out if it snows for at least one day before the end of 2020. Think of others and what you can do for them. I have always found that doing something for someone else can make you better appreciate your own current situation and help eliminate negative feelings that sometimes creeps inside of all of us. The recipients of your service will be happier, and so will you. So, in closing, 2020 has been a hard year for sure. But remember, there is always a rainbow at the end of a storm, and we are going to make it through this. Thank you for watching and listening to me this year. And I look forward to spending Wednesday evenings with you in 2021 with more unfinished business. So remember, just a quick reminder to subscribe to watch our weekly show on YouTube at Rogette Harris, on Instagram at Rogette1980, on Twitter at Rogette Harris, or on Facebook at Unfinished Business with Rogette Harris. And please send me an email at rogetteharris@gmail.com. Again, thank you for joining us tonight. Be safe, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year.